TVC Sport Desk.
Hello and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the program. This is Sports Desk and I am Promise Efoge.
And I am Mian Akiri on the program.
It is her second yellow. There's a yellow card for the goalkeeper. Was she off her line? It's going to be
Nigeria's Super Falcons lose final group game to France as World Cup hopes now hang by a thread. Former UEFA President Michel Platini has been arrested for suspected bribery and corruption in the award of the 2022 FIFA World Cup.
And also on the program today,
the greatest city in the world, and we are the NBA 2019 champions of the world.
violence marks the victory parade of NBA champions, the Raptors, in Toronto. Details of these and more on the program. Well, the last 24 hours has been about opinions and, of course, suggestions and analysis of what the Super Falcons' performance was like against France as far as the Women's World Cup is concerned.
Superb, no doubt, but then a lot of drama. We had a penalty kick, we have a yellow card, we had a retake, we have the decision of the VAR, and so much more. But as we speak, the final decision will be made by FIFA as far as hopes of getting to the next round of the ongoing World Cup.
All right, Nigeria Super Falcons may be down, but certainly not out yet. They lost to France in their final group game of the FIFA Women's World Cup. This means they remain third in the group with only 3 points. But they wait, they're now waiting to see if there will be some light at the end of the tunnel. If results in other groups go their way, then the Falcons may qualify as one of the best losers in the group phase. Let's see highlights of that epic game against France.
Group A.
World Cup has come to an end.
TVC Sport Desk.
Exciting games, those really were. Quite exciting to see Korea get to score their first goal of the Women's World Cup. Group A indeed was a top group for teams like Nigeria, for teams like Korea. You look at a group that has France and Norway, and you naturally would think Nigeria may not really stand a very strong chance to progress on their own.
Well, on paper, it was so for the Super Falcons, and then give it to the Falcons. They gave a good fight, a good account of themselves. Especially when you take a look at the fact that they played the host country, the French team, in 2011. They were also up against the French team. The likes of the Zero Palmers, they also played against the French team.
That's
Not the
true.
first time they are playing against the French team.
And we saw them, capitulate in a friendly a couple of months ago.
It's 0, and then people felt, yes, it was going to be a whitewash. I was one of them, but it was a different ball game entirely. Well, they took a penalty decision, so many drama. A lot of Nigerians and other fans have been talking about
I saw the goalkeeper
referee's
reacting.
decision.
Speaking in pidgin.
Well, waiting happen,
Waiting happen.
But you must indeed give it, to the players. Football is an emotional game. Even the head coach of the side, Thomas Deneby, was of the opinion that if he should indeed express himself, probably FIFA will come down heavy on him. But then you can't take away the fact that, yes, I support the decision of the referee. The referee was right. You're meant to be on the lines before a penalty kick is taken. But for the goalkeeper, it wasn't the same way. And the VAR decision,
Nandozie has,
to be interpreted.
so far given a very good account of herself.
From open play, she didn't concede a
tournament.
goal,
Certainly.
and getting that huge performance against the French national team speaks volume of her potential. Even with the penalty, she went for the penalty. It could have been saved. That showed that these players have improved. If the team have expressed disappointment at some officiating decisions made by the crucial encounter against host country France. The Falcons needed a positive result to guarantee their place in the round of 16, but were undone by a VAR awarded penalty late in the game.
I just want to say we tried our best. We played our heart out, and I'm super, super proud of our girls. We showed the world that, yeah, we are not pushover side. we are ready for anybody, and the whole world can see. I don't know what happened in that game. Penalty, double penalty against us. It's so funny, but it's a game.
Well, I felt bad because the first penalty they awarded, we didn't know what happened. They didn't show us. But in everything, that was the referee's decision. We can't change it. That is football for you.
It was really a tough one, you know. Like, yeah, they told us before the competition kicks, the goalkeeper's leg has to be on the line. But for me, I mean, I think it's really unfair because she missed it. She didn't hit the target. So for me, I don't think it's fair.
TVC Sport Desk.
Well, she hits TVC's eyes out there in France. Chidi Ebereziani now joins the program live via Skype to indeed discuss the ongoing Women's World Cup. The Nigerian girls are the underdogs going into the game against France. But the Falcons have been beaming with extraordinary confidence. What was it like last night, Chidi Ebere? Tell us, what are the players saying and what has been their reaction, after that game last night? And we also saw Coach Thomas Dennerby saying if he should express himself, probably FIFA will come out hard on him. No thanks to the VAR decision and that of the referee. What are they saying at the moment now?
Well, the players have come to terms with it. These girls are professionals. They know that the referee's decision already on the board will fetch them a place in the round of 16.
Some players that did not play in the first game against Norway were injected into the team that played against Korea. Is it likely going to stick with this team or make a few more changes? Should the Falcons, make it beyond the group stage at the moment? I'm looking at one of the best losers.
Well, as it stands, Nigeria will be forced into two changes anyways. Chikwelu received a second yellow card of the tournament, which automatically means she's not going to be available if Nigeria makes it into the next round. Of course, the red-carded Ebere will not be a part of that squad. But let's look at players like Chidinma Okeke and Chiamaka Nadozie, who have been injected into that team. These are players who have gone from the Nigerian under-17 to the Nigerian under-20s, and now they're in the national team. This shows a level of progression with the development of female football in Nigeria, and they are adequately representing. I was at the stand amongst a lot of French people, and if I get my French correctly, they were saying that Chidinma was one player that has impressed them a lot. They expected Summer, when she came in yesterday, to do a lot of magic, but she was able to contain her.
Well, I must say a very big thank you, Chidi Ebereziani. I'm sure at this point in time, you're also joining the Falcons in praying to get a fair result to indeed qualify as one of the best losers. Well, to this worrisome news, former president of the European football body, UEFA, Michel Platini, has been detained and questioned by French police for suspected bribery and corruption in the award of the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup. The former French midfielder and three-time Ballon d'Or winner, who denies any wrongdoing, was banned in 2015 for breach of ethics. The former midfielder's 8-year ban was later reduced to 4 on appeal and will expire in October 2019. Qatar beat rivals United States, Australia, South Korea and Japan to the hosting right for the 2022 World Cup. Platini was banned over £1.3 million disloyal payments from then FIFA president Sepp Blatter, who was also banned from football for his part in the matter. Coming up on the program, we continue our special countdown to the biggest soccer fiesta on the continent of Africa, the 2019 Nations Cup.
All right, that's a song coming courtesy of the Super Eagles Supporters Club, led by Vincent Okumagba. Kudos to them. It shows how passionate they are as far as the senior national team, the Super Eagles, is concerned. Well, it is kickoff to the 72 hours to the kickoff of the Nations Cup, 3 days to the start of the Africa Cup of Nations. Egypt is the destination, and the countdown, of course, continues here on Sports Desk. Well, Group D will be the focus on the program today as we take a look at former champions in Ivory Coast, Morocco, and of course South Africa, and only Namibia is yet to go beyond the group stage of the Africa Cup of Nations. Our focus will be on Ivory Coast now. This is a country, of course, this is the first our first country on focus as far as today's program is concerned. Cote d'Ivoire, I must tell you, is located on the south coast of West Africa. Its political capital is Yamoussoukro, in the center of the country, while its economic capital and largest city is the port city of Abidjan. Ivory Coast, of course, borders Guinea and Liberia to the west, Burkina Faso and Mali to the north, Ghana to the east, and the Gulf of Guinea to the south. The official language in this country is French. Well, the Ivory Coast national team is nicknamed the Elephants, and they operate under the auspices of the Ivorian Football Federation. The team has qualified 23 times for the Nations Cup, and so they are regular customers as far as this competition is concerned. They were champions in 1992, and most recently, they were champions in 2015, I beg your pardon. Was the competition Nigeria failed to qualify for. And star players to look at for as far as the Ivorian team is concerned includes Wilfred Zaha, who plays in the Premiership with Crystal Palace. Pepe is one of them, Nicolas Pepe, and of course Frank Kessie. At this point, let me introduce Bolu, our guest on the show today. Bolu, you look at this Ivorian team, very young, very compact, very star-studded, and not so much has been said about them, but as far as I'm concerned, Ivory Coast should be one of the teams to watch out for at the Nations Cup.
Over time, Ivory Coast has been one of the teams with great quality individual players on African soil for years, since the days of Didier Drogba to Yaya Toure. And for this squad, I think they have one of the best attack in this competition. Nicolas Pepe had a great season in the French league. We all know who Wilfred Zaha is in the Premier League, mesmerizing all the top defenders in the Premier League. Frank Kessie in the midfield for them, even Jean-Michel Seri, almost all the top teams, the Barcelona, the Arsenal wanted him. For Ivory Coast, they are a very compact team. I don't forget their defender, right back Sejore, one of the best in world football today. They have a very compact team. They have some individual quality players, and as a team, they are a very good side. Like you rightly said, their last victory was in 2015, not so far off. It means this team, they are ready for business. They have a solid team, and believe me, they are part of the favorites to win this competition.
Absolutely, I must agree with you on that, Bolu. Let's take a look at Morocco. Certainly, they are located in the Maghreb region, talking about the country found in the northern part of Africa. This country covers an area of over 700,000 kilometers square. Its capital is Rabat, but the largest city in Morocco is Casablanca. I've got some friends in Casablanca. Official languages here in this country are French and Arabic. The Moroccan national team, let me tell you, is called the Atlas Lions, just in case you do not know. And of course, the team is managed by a very young and enterprising manager in Hervé Renard. He's won the Nations Cup with 2 other countries in Africa, talking about Zambia. And when Ivory Coast won the Nations Cup in 2015, Hervé Renard was the coach of that team. Well, they were champions of the Nations Cup way back in 1976, and they were the first African team to win a group at the World Cup, which, of course, they did in 1986, finishing ahead of the likes of Portugal, Poland, and, of course, England. They were also the first African team to make it to the second round of the World Cup. It tells you that the Moroccan team have got a lot of history behind them. They've been at the Nations Cup 17 times. They were champions once, like I said, in 1976. They were runners-up on one occasion, third place finish on one occasion, and of course they have exited the group on 9 different occasions. Well, Let's take a look at those star players to watch out for as far as the Moroccan team is concerned. If you watch the UEFA Champions League in the outgone season very closely, you remember this young man. His name is Hakim Ziyech, the man who mesmerizes defenders in the colors of Ajax. And Younes Belhanda is another player that will be carrying the Atlas Lions on his shoulders. So also is Mehdi Benachia. Bolu, this Moroccan team is very young, perhaps almost younger than our own Super Eagles. But you look at this team, you take a look at their rating on the continent, they are rated very high.
Correct, about experience, I think they have loads of experience. Benatia, for example, has played in some of the top clubs in Europe, Roma, Juventus, Bayern Munich. He has lots of experience. And like you said, Hakim Ziyech, thinking of Hakim Ziyech, looking at him, I think of Angel Di Maria. Lots of quality in this squad. Don't forget Sofiane Boufal scored one of the best goals in the Premier League a few seasons ago. These guys are young, they are very fast, and like other North African teams, they can play beautiful football. They can take care of that anytime. They were first in their group. It means they have something to offer. And for their manager, there are a few coaches on African soil you will call without mentioning Navi Renard. He has lots of experience. He has won the competition with 2 different countries. It means these guys are coming in for business. And the young right back, Hakim Ashraf, if he's fully fit, again, that's another plus. A young guy of 20 has more appearances than his age. It means these guys are both young and experienced. A mixture, combination of the two with a coach with lots of experience will definitely give them an edge. The last time they won was in the 70s. They are definitely coming to this competition with real business, and believe me, they have what it takes to win.
Absolutely. Well, next on our radar certainly will be Namibia, a very small country in the southern part of Africa. Its western border is the Atlantic Ocean. It shares land borders with Zambia, Angola, Botswana, and South Africa. Some geographical news you can use. The Namibian national football team is nicknamed the Brave Warriors, and their bravery will be tested at the Nations Cup this season. Well, South Africa is, of course, the southernmost country in South Africa. It is bounded to the south by about 2,798 kilometers, and the South African national team is called Bafana Bafana, which means the boys. Well, Abolu, Namibia, South Africa, from same region in South Africa, they know themselves very well. I mean, they play constantly in the COSAFA Cup, and so these teams understands themselves. You look at Group D, favorites certainly will want to tip the likes of Ivory Coast and Morocco to go through, but you cannot write off South Africa. We saw them during the African qualifiers, and they were a bone in the neck for the Super Eagles.
For Namibia, they are arguably the weakest team on paper, but football is not written on paper. It is played on the football field. They qualify for this competition on better away goal rule, but football, they were not invited. They qualified through qualifying. It means they have something to offer. And for South Africa, they have almost all their players playing on home soil. About 6 of them playing for Mamelodi Sundowns, about 4 or 5 of them playing for Bidvest. Same thing for SuperSport United. It means there's good cohesion, there's good teamwork amongst these boys, and that's one of the things that makes a football team better. They don't need to have all the star players in quotes, but teamwork is one of the things that will stand them out. Yes, I rightly said Ivory Coast and Morocco are definitely the favorite for this group, but one of these 2 guys may just spring up a surprise, and if anything like that is going to happen, it definitely is going to be South Africa.
Let me say a very big thank you to you, Bolu, for your apt responses, and of course joining us in this countdown series, talking about the Africa Cup of Nations. Well, a lot happened in Toronto less than 24 hours ago, where the Raptors, of course, were celebrating their victory in the NBA, but some things went wrong, Mian.
Well, promise, before I take a look at the Toronto Raptors, let me just tell you that news filtering in has it that the Super Eagles have landed in Alexandria, venue of their group games as far as the Nations Cup is concerned. Well, Toronto Raptors victory celebrations were marred by shootings with 2 people seriously injured in the incident. We have details in this report.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and some 2 million other fans cheered the NBA champions Toronto Raptors on a victory celebration that united the entire nation. Toronto-born pop singer Aubrey Drake Graham was part of the celebrations.
I want you to turn to somebody that you don't know, and I want you to give them a hug. I want you to tell them congratulations, because we're from the greatest city in the world, and we are the NBA 2019 champions of the world.
Enjoy this moment. and have fun with it. Ha, 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 ha.
It's a great experience. Love the Raptors. Been following them right from the get-go, right from Vince Carter, Bugsy, all of them, right from 90.
But soon after, the party was marred by a shooting that seriously wounded 2 people. The shots were fired near Nathan Phillips Square, the parade's final destination, during the victory speeches, causing hundreds of people to scatter for cover. The celebrations were only paused briefly. Canadians from coast to coast and all the way up to the Arctic have been celebrating since the Toronto Raptors captured their first National Basketball Association championship in a country that is traditionally known for its love of ice hockey. The Raptors clinched the best-of-7 series in Oakland, California on Thursday in 6 games by beating the defending champion Golden State Warriors 114-110, giving rise to a nationwide love affair with basketball.
The NBA.
TVC Sport Desk.
Well, congratulations. Time to the Raptors, who wrapped up the NBA title in the best-of-7 games. And, of course, it is instructive to know that a Nigerian is at the helm of Raptors. Masai Ujiri is Nigerian, president of the club. Nigerians doing great things in diaspora.
But the celebration was marred by shootings, which is indeed very, very sad.
That should be condemned. Well, that's the program for today. Many thanks to you out there for being a part of it. The show returns same time tomorrow. Till then, I remain promise a full game.
And I am Ian Akiri.
Bye-bye now.
TVC Sport Desk.